Stream is up. Today is day 28 of the stream. You're streaming, learning code. We are going to hopefully hammer out a very quick session because it is very late. We finished section 2, a closer look at CSS, and now we are on to section 3, boundaries and space. This isn't a terribly long section. We've had shorter. Now, a lot of this is repeat stuff, so we may kind of graze through it, with it being that the first 2 sections of this unit, the Make a Website unit, have been fairly redundant compared to the first HTML and CSS Part 1 course. So it is all good knowledge. Having a good foundation of these topics is important. I just noticed that there's a lot of overlap. But with that said, let's continue on. An important part of styling a web page with CSS is organizing boundaries and space. Every page element has a boundary and space properties that can be controlled using CSS. The CSS box model illustrates each of these properties. Observe the CSS box model diagram to the right. 1. Content includes text, images, or other media contained within an HTML element. 2. Padding, the space between the content and the border. You can think of this like inner space. 3. Border, the outline of an HTML page element. You can think of it like a picture frame that contains the element. And 4. Margin, the space between the HTML page element and the next nearest elements. After you have familiarized yourself with the box model, click Next to continue. Box model, content, padding, margin. Content, padding, border, margin. Good. 2 of 11. The border property can be used to visually define a page element's outer edge. In CSS, the border property's value requires 3 parts. 1. Thickness. Sets the thickness of the border using pixels, ems, or rems. 2. Type. Sets the border type. Common options are solid, dotted, or dashed. There are many others. 3. Color. Sets the border's color using named colors, hex, or RGB values. The CSS below gives a paragraph element a solid black border that is 2 pixels thick. Paragraph border 2 pixels solid black. 1. Web browser currently displays Tundra Gallery's homepage. Let's give each gallery an item border. Let's give each gallery item a border. In main.css, locate the gallery, the .gallery item. Add border 5 pixels solid FFF. Gallery item. Border FFF. Run. Lovely. Good. Good. Lots of fun there. Onwards. 3 of 11. The CSS padding property. Padding property. Well, no, I'm tripping out. It's the time. It's because it's late. Totally losing it. The CSS padding property controls the empty space between the page elements, content, and its border. Increasing a page's elements padding makes the space around the content more spacious, while decreasing makes the space more compact. Padding 20 pixels. CSS above would give paragraph elements padding 20 pixels. Okay, page description. Right here. Padding to 30 pixels. Page description. Run. Look at that. Got space before and after, in between, of course. Oh, no, just kidding. That was a lie. For paragraph? Locate the page. Oh, that's why. Because I just used the 20 from the example above, not the 30. There we go. Even more space, right? Nice. 11. CSS margin property controls space between different HTML elements on a web page. Use margin to bring page elements closer together or to move them further apart. The CSS below ensures 2 rems of space between elements with the class answer and surrounding page elements. Margin to rems main dot gallery item currently has a margin of 2 pixels. Change the value to 20. Dot gallery item 2 to 20. Run. Is that it? Yeah, run. Nice. Next. Margin property creates space on all sides of page element. It's also possible to separate margin spacing on each side of an element. Additional margin properties. 1 margin top sets the top margin. 2 margin bottom sets the bottom margin. 3 margin left and right. Good, we know our direction is fascinating. Note, below we will change the margin properties for a div that encloses HTML figures. Figures are used to organize visuals such as photos and diagrams. CSS. Figures with the class gallery item are contained inside a div. Oh, no? Okay, they're just stating out loud. In index.html, figures with the class of gallery item are contained inside a div with a class of gallery. Div life, class, hashtag gallery, right? Pretty straightforward, good. And so on and so forth and blah, 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 right? Now, in main.css, locate .gallery class selector, set the margin property to 20. Yeah, you don't. Okay, so gallery, margin top, 20 pixels. Semicolon. Hell yeah. Okay. Run it. Onward. 6 of 11. Beautiful. Using borders, padding, and margins allow us to control boundaries and space for individual HTML elements. But what CSS properties are available to move elements around on the page and create unique page layouts? The CSS display and position properties help accomplish this. Display. Not all HTML elements are displayed on a page in the same way. Display types determine how HTML elements will be arranged in relation to each other. The diagram to the right illustrates the block and inline display types. In the diagram, notice 1. The 2 dotted rectangles represent web pages. 2. HTML heading, paragraph, unordered list elements are block level. Each appears on its own line in a web page. 3. HTML image and anchor elements are displayed in line. They appear on the same line as their neighboring element web page. Familiarize yourself with block and inline display types, then click Next to continue. Empty space We've got H1 paragraph, unordered list. We've got empty space around, display, block level. Okay. Those are vertically aligned versus image and image and image and an anchor. And display inline next to each other. Cool. Section 7. Onwards. Display types can be overridden in CSS by using the display property. For example, we can make list items appear on the same line by setting display to inline. List item display inline. Note, below we will encounter an HTML nav element. Navs are used to organize site navigation used on a web page. On the Tundra Gallery homepage, notice the navigation bar, nav bar, on the bottom left. Now, yes. Good. Hiding in the corner. In index.html, this is represented by a nav element containing a unordered list with 3 items. Read through the HTML, locate this code. In main.css, locate the nav list selector. Give it a display property of, there's like dust that just floated over the back of my monitor from the back to the front. I think it's because it's got heat vents top and there's cat fuzz everywhere. So like, anyways, not important. Right. In index.html, this is represented by a nav element containing an unordered list with 3 items, read through, blah. In main.css, locate the nav list selector. Give it a display property of inline. Click run and notice the change in the web browser. List items, which are normally displayed as block level elements, display inline with the navigation. That's a fun change. The fact that it'll go from vertical to inline when we use the nav. Or change the display property for that. Okay, so here we go. Nav list, we're giving it display inline, copy, use. List. Topher. What up, man? Damn, you're late considering your busy day at Knott's Berry Farm. Mike keeps cutting in and out. Yeah, the lady's sleeping, so I'm trying to not yell, so it's all the sound suppression chipping away at it. That's when I've got the mic like practically in my mouth, short of sucking on the mic. It's yeah. Anywho, continuing on. It's just I'm determined to stream every single day. I don't want to miss a day, so I wait till midnight to fire this out. So I'm trying to hammer it out as quickly as possible. But we are almost through it. Okay, running. Success. Next. Alright, section 8 of 11. We are nearing the end. Nice work. The nav bar is starting to come together nicely. Would be even better if we could get the contact button to fill in the empty corner on the bottom right. To achieve this, we can use the CSS float property. But using float, by using float, we have the option of float elements left or right. Consider the example code below. The class selector .logo floats left, and ID selector #search bar floats right. We've got logo float left, search bar float right. Let's arrange the contact button using float. In main.css, locate the class selector .contact btn and assign it float right. Locating now. Okay. Contact. Contact btn. Float right. Time to get floaty. Load. right. Run. Nice. And I think that was a lower. Yeah, contact. Wait. Okay. Success. Next. Section 9 of 11. In the web browser, the gallery images that were arranged neatly in rows are now stacked. On the left side of the web page, the CSS display value that arranged the images, Flex, has been removed. In addition to other capabilities, Flex can be used to easily align multiple page elements horizontally. In the example code below, there is a div with class parent, div class parent. Okay. And we'll find it later. To make children of the div, wait, maybe they're just saying in general that divs function as parents. Not important. To make children of the div align horizontally on the web page, in CSS we can use .parent display flex. Children elements of the div with class parent will now align horizontally. Okay. We can make sure no child element moves off the page by using flex wrap. Oh, flex wrap, :wrap, okay. Finally, center rows of the children's element, we can use justify content center. We've got display flex wrap, and justify content center. Throwing the whole kitchen sink this thing. Okay, a few steps for this one. 1. Before we start working with Flex, expand the web browser view by clicking the arrow button in the top right corner. Take a moment to notice that the image gallery is arranged vertically and off-center. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Okay. Vertical, off-center. And we're noticing. Next, locate the .gallery class selector in main.css. Set the display and property to flex. Okay. .gallery display to flex. Run. One down. There's a problem. If you look to the right side of the web page, some of the gallery images are cut off. To solve this below the display flex, create a flex wrap property and set it to wrap. Flex wrap. Okay. Flex wrap. Oh, that's not flex, that's view. Run that. Nice. And 3. Finally, we will center the gallery images for the .gallery selector. Add the property justify content, set to center. Okay. Success, and now we'll make it full screen again. Look at that. Beautiful. Onwards to 10. Way cool. The CSS Position Property enables you to position HTML elements in exact locations on a web page. One useful value for this property is relative. This value positions page elements on a web page relative to where they would normally appear. By first setting position relative, you can then use CSS properties top, left, bottom, and right to shift an element away from where it would have normally appeared on the page. The code snippet below moves a div with the class container 10 pixels away from the up and 10 pixels away from the up and 20 pixels away from the left side of the page. 10 pixels away from the up. That is so weird. I don't know what the hell that is. That's not English. Ever click a button on a web page that seemed to move down and then back up like your life button? We can implement this trick by using the position property. Aha. Position relative top 10, left 20. In main.css, locate contact btna, which is the selector or anchor elements that have a parent with the contact btn class. Beneath the properties already listed for the contact btna selector, add position relative. Run that. Success. 2. Next, locate the contact btna active selector. Am I adding an active selector? Oh, below that, this is a thing. Gotcha. Here. Clever. I thought it would contact btna. Like so. I thought active was value. Not the case. Add the following CSS to the active selector, top 2 pixels. This will cause the contact button to move down slightly while being clicked, simulating a real-life button being pushed. Top 2 pixels. Space. Run. Very nice. Okay. And I think that was for... Well, when we click contact, I think it moves. Yep. Ta-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Look at that. So cool. Perfect. A nice, short, quick stream. Quick and dirty. Just the way we like it. Okay. Section 11. Nice work. You learned a lot. Let's review the web and CSS concepts covered in this lesson. Honestly, we're not going to go through all that because that's just, we've already know this. This is the third and fourth time we've seen all this info. So we're going to hold off. Nice work. We've learned a lot, and we're going to continue to up next. Building with Bootstrap. This was today's stream, so this will be tomorrow's stream. So sometime on the 29th, Sunday, right? Probably Sunday midday. Noonish, hopefully, fingers crossed. Up next, building with Bootstrap. Learn to create a web page quickly using the Twitter Bootstrap library. Oh, neat. Bootstrap is a popular CSS framework with pre-written CSS rules designed to help you build web pages faster. Wow. Yeah, this is the part of the unit I've been looking forward to. Okay, good times. We'll save that for Sunday. Today's stream conquered day 28 down. So far, so good. We are on the edge of completing one whole month of streaming and wanting to code without missing a day, so that's good. All right, that's basically it. 277 points. Making progress. Good times. And we are out of here. Closing down the stream. Topher, thanks again for stopping by. Hopefully the mic audio was a little bit better halfway through. It was probably still cutting out, but either way. See you around. And are you sure? Hell yeah.